You're looking for a patio set that's not just a pretty picture in a catalog, but something that actually lives up to the promise of being reliable, comfortable enough to lounge on for hours, and worth the few $100s you're spending. You've probably felt that twinge of hesitation every time you scroll past a glossy ad. Will this survive my summer storms? Will the cushions stay flat after a couple of weeks? Is it really better than the cheap plastic sets I've seen for half the price? Those are the exact questions that keep most people from hitting add to cart. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I started digging into the world of outdoor conversation sets, I realized the market is a little chaotic. There are aluminum frames that rust after a season, fabric that fades under UV, and modular pieces that look good on the showroom floor but wobble when you actually try to sit down. The Purple Leaf 5-piece set tries to hit the sweet spot between minimal design and durability, and it's worth taking a closer look before you decide whether to bring it into your backyard, poolside, or garden nook. First off, the construction is built around a powder-coated aluminum frame. That's the kind of metal you'll find on high-end patio furniture because the coating is designed to resist rust and corrosion, even when you leave the set out through rain and occasional splashes from the pool. In real life, that means you can set the chairs down after a summer thunderstorm without worrying about orange spots forming on the legs. The powder coating also feels smooth to the touch, which is a small but nice detail when you're adjusting a chair in the heat. The cushions are wrapped in a high-quality olefin fabric. Olefin is a synthetic material that's known for resisting stains, mildew, and fading. In practice, that translates to cushions that don't develop those unsightly yellow patches after a few weeks of sun exposure, and you don't have to spend your evenings scrubbing away mold after a rainy night. The cushions themselves are fairly thick enough to give you a supportive seat, but not so plush that you sink in and have to constantly readjust. If you've ever tried to sit on a couch that's too soft and found yourself sliding off, you'll appreciate that the Purple Leaf cushions stay firm enough to keep you grounded while still offering a soft feel. One of the biggest draws of this set is the modular nature. You get a low coffee table, 2 corner sofas, a single lounge, and a matching love seat that can be rearranged to suit different layouts. For someone who likes to entertain a small group, you can pull the corner pieces together for a tight conversation circle, then push them apart when you need extra room for a grill or a kids' play area. I've seen families use a similar arrangement to create a semi-private lounge space right next to the pool, then shift the pieces to make room for a table and chairs when hosting a birthday brunch. The flexibility is real, and you don't need any extra tools to reconfigure. The pieces just snap together with the aluminum connectors. Now, let's talk about what it doesn't do perfectly. The set is advertised as all-weather, which is true in the sense that the frame and fabric can survive the elements, but the cushions aren't waterproof. If you leave them out in a downpour without a cover, the foam inside can become saturated and take a while to dry. In humid climates, you might notice a slight musty smell after a few weeks of exposure if you don't use a weatherproof cover. So, if you're looking for a completely set-and-forget solution that can sit out forever without any maintenance, you'll need to budget for a decent outdoor cover or be diligent about rolling the cushions in when rain is forecast. Another subtle trade-off is the minimalistic aesthetic. The clean lines and neutral beige color work beautifully in modern or Scandinavian-styled gardens, but they can also blend into a more vibrant outdoor decor. If you love bright cushions, colorful throw pillows, or a bold patterned rug, you'll need to bring those accessories yourself. The set doesn't come with any built-in storage, so you'll have to find a way to stash extra blankets or cushions when the weather turns chilly. That's not a deal breaker for most, but it's worth keeping in mind if you value an all-in-one solution. Who should consider buying this set? If you have a modestly sized patio, say a 12 by 14 foot area, and you want something that looks sleek, holds up to the occasional rain, and can be rearranged for different gatherings, this is a solid pick. It's especially appealing to couples or small families who enjoy lounging outdoors without committing to a massive, permanent installation. The low coffee table is at a comfortable height for both seated and reclining positions, meaning you won't have to stand up just to grab a drink when you're stretched out on the lounge. On the other hand,